You're joined by DRS National Handicapper Mike Watchmaker here at the Breeders' Cup 2017 Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. We've talked about the Classic already. Let's talk about the most likely winner on the card. You and I are in complete agreement here, and it's no surprise.
Is Bolt Doro in the juvenile, and I think he's the most likely winner in all 13 Breeders' Cup races. And he was sensational winning the front runner at Santa Anita last time out, and he's a horse that also won his first two starts here at Del Mar, including the Del Mar Futurity. And for a horse who's by Medaglia d'Oro out of an AP Indy mare, for him to win his first two career starts sprinting is probably an indication of how really good he is. And everyone had expected him to really blossom once he had the opportunity to go a distance of ground. He got that opportunity, the front runner. And even though the expectations were high on the front runner, I think he surpassed them. That was a sensational performance. And he got a 100 Beyer figure in that race, and it could have been higher.
Yeah, that's something we need to touch on. Andy Beyer had talked about it, the Beyer Associates, where it was eventually ruled down to a 100, where the raw number initially came back a 113. So you could even project that that was even more impressive than it may look on paper.
Well, I'm a long-time speed figure maker myself. I've been making my own figures since the middle 1970s, and I understand why they did what they did. And I actually think it's one of the benefits of having human beings make speed figures instead of computers, because you've got seasoned judgment making calls that computers just don't have. They can't judge the subtle distinctions. And the reason why the Beyer boys decided to knock the number down a little bit is because horses who were in the distant beaten field would have engineered wildly improved Beyers, even though they were beaten a long way. And I understand why they did it, and I've done it personally myself. But I do think it's important to point out that as dominating as Bolt Doro looks on paper, and he is dominating, and all he has to do is duplicate the 100 he got in the front runner to win this race, he might be faster than that. He might really be the 113, and if he is, then he's going to rack up a double-digit win in this race.
This could be one of those instances, even if he stands put and doesn't improve, he's still the most likely winner. If he improves, I wrote in the analysis for the paper on Saturday, it could be showtime. He could win by a quarter of a pole at this point, whatever you want to call it. Something else that I found so fascinating about this horse, and I still find fascinating, you talk about the 2-year-olds, you talk about his pedigree. 7 furlongs is not supposed to be his game, even shorter than that, certainly not. The fact that he's won on the lead, coming from well off the pace and from pressing the pace, to me, in 3 career starts at 3 different distances, is fascinating.
I mean, this horse could be the real package. He's a very exciting horse, and actually in that Saturday column I wrote for the paper, and it will probably, I'm sure, be online too, I'm really excited about the Classic and seeing Arrogant and Gun Runner, but the horse I'm next most excited to see is Bolt Doro, because he might be something really special. And I'm glad that they configured the races in the sense that it's the last dirt race before the Breeders' Cup Classic. The turf is running between the juvenile and the Breeders' Cup Classic, but I'm glad it's the last dirt race before the Classic, because it very much will put the spotlight on a potential true star of tomorrow.
Not to take this video away from the most likely winner topic, but as far as the juvenile is concerned, there are a couple other nice horses in there. Do you think there's anyone that could take a giant step forward to possibly try to push him a little bit, or is it just a matter of he's that much better?
I had a real hard time finding anyone who could do it. I mean, the horse I picked second in the analysis that we both have in the paper and will appear online was Good Magic.
I did too.
And Good Magic is, in a sense, similar to Bolt Doro in that he has a pedigree that suggests that he's going to love to stretch out to 2 turns. He's by Curlin, hard spun on the bottom. He's going to love to stretch out in distance. He's a maiden, but I thought he ran a winning race in the Champagne when he was second, beaten a half length by Forensic Fire. And I don't want to take anything away from Forensic Fire, but Good Magic was closer to a pace that disintegrated in that race, whereas Forensic Fire came from way off the pace. And I actually thought Good Magic did more running to be beaten only a half a length of finishing second. And I think he's going to like the stretch out to 2 turns more than Forensic Fire might.
We'll see what Bolt Doro does in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Mike and I agree he's the most likely winner of the 13 Breeders' Cup races. Heck, who knows what he could end up being. If he takes a step forward, not only is he going to be the favorite in the winter book as far as the Derby is concerned, he's going to be a heavy, heavy favorite.